Hey guys, welcome back to the YouTube channel for the Renaissance English History Podcast. I'm your host, Heather. I've been podcasting on Tudor England for almost 15 years, since 2009. Um, I actually had something else I was going to talk about today. I was going to do a portrait and propaganda video, but I'm changing that because I heard something super cool on Classic FM this morning. So we listen to Classic FM every morning as we're getting ready for school. I'm not getting ready for school. I'm getting other people in my family ready for school. And I love Classic FM. This is going to turn into a part personal share because I was actually interviewed on Classic FM in 2000 about a choir that I started in London with my friend Shandor. And I was interviewed by Natalie Ween. And it was like a human interest story, like American girl goes to London, starts a choir, and it was on Classic FM. And, so I still listen to Classic FM. I know there are people who have opinions about Classic FM because they just play like the popular one movement of a symphony. I'm personally okay with it, especially when we're getting ready in the morning. There are two things that I heard on Classic FM that I want to share with you this morning. One of them I'm going to share my screen for because it's a carriage wash, the Barkway carriage wash, which dates from 1600, about give or take, that was added to the National Heritage List for remarkable places. So I'm going to share my screen and we're going to look at pictures and we're going to talk about that. But the other thing, so they always have these ads for the UU water bottle. And I've been thinking I'm a huge fan of hot water bottles. And then it occurred to me that there are people who don't know what hot water bottles are and how you use them. So this is my PSA to you in this time of year. It's getting cold. You got to do whatever you can to like stay warm and stay well. I'm also drinking these turmeric shots to like keep me from getting sick because everybody in Hannah's class is sick. Anyway, hot water bottles. If you're like a young person, you might not know what they are if you're one of those younger people. So if you're one of those younger people, you should do a TikTok on this. And the UU water bottle in particular is a very awesome hot water bottle. And I'm going to tell you why. So a hot water bottle, if you don't know, is just that. It's a hot water bottle. It's a rubber bottle that you fill with hot water. And they're wonderful because all you have to do is boil some water, put some water on the kettle, and pour it into this hot water. It's plastic. I'm going to show you mine in a second. I'm building up to this, you guys. We're like, there's a serious buildup. You need to, I should do this thing. Wait till the end of the video, and then I'll show you my hot water bottle. But I don't think you would wait because I don't actually think it's that interesting. It's pretty interesting though. This is my this is my hot water bottle, and this is why it's awesome. So, see, isn't it lovely? You fill it with hot water right there. And it's long, and so you can drape it. So when I'm not doing a video, I can drape it over my shoulder like this. Ooh, and I hug it, and it stays nice and warm. The best thing in the world is if you put one of these in your bed before you go to bed, like half an hour before, and then you get in, and then your bed's all super warm. I mean, electric blankets also will work. I know a lot of people like electric blankets. I personally am a fan of the hot water bottle because I think they're a little bit more energy efficient. I don't know. Somebody will probably tell me if I'm wrong about that, I'm sure. But this is a wearable hot water bottle, which I got on Amazon for, I don't know, it was less than $20. It was like maybe 15. I use it every day. When I'm on calls for work, I just put it on my lap and it keeps me nice and toasty. And I keep the thermostat set super low. And I just wear my hot water bottle when I'm working. So that was the first thing. On Classic FM, they're always doing ads for the UU hot water bottle. This is not a UU hot water bottle because I think it was going to cost, I remember looking at it, I think it was going to cost a fortune to ship it from the UK. So I just got this one on Amazon that was like the cheaper Amazon version. But I love it. I'm a huge fan. And if you don't know what hot water bottles are, this is one, and it's the best thing in the whole wide world. Okay. That's my hot water bottle spiel. Now let's talk about something Tudor. I am going to share my screen. All right, I am sharing my screen here so you can see what I'm talking about. So Barkway carriage wash added to the historic England list. So this is in Royston, which is on the way to Cambridge. There's a couple of towns like as you get to as you get to Cambridge, Royston, Baldock Kitchen, I think, is another one, that the train stops at. You know, I have this idea. It's a fantasy of mine. I mean, it's not really it's not like I could totally do it, but there's this place as you're going on the train to Cambridge from King's Cross, about midway through, there's Welwyn Garden City. And as you're leaving Welwyn Garden City in the summer, when you look off to your left, there's like this valley by a creek or a little river. I always thought that would be the most magical place to have a picnic. I don't know why. I've been looking at this, and every time, like when we leave Welwyn Garden City, I always sit on that side of the train so I can look at it. And I mean, I've probably done this 50 times where I've looked out at this and I thought someday I'm going to get off the train at Welwyn Garden City and I'm going to have a picnic in that place. And actually, I had a friend from Welwyn Garden City. This is like the video. How often can we say Welling? It's like a drinking game. How often, every time I say Welwyn Garden City, you need to take a turmeric shot. Um, Heather's in a mood today. So I had a friend who was from Welwyn Garden City, lived in Welwyn Garden City. And I even thought someday I should go up and visit her and we should have a picnic by the river, but that never happened. And so at some point in my life, then it became a thing because I feel now like if I went and had this picnic in Welwyn Garden City, like it wouldn't actually live up to my expectation. I would just be like, this is a weird thing. And there's a train track right there. And it doesn't live up to what I thought it was going to be. Anyway, that's my story on towns on the way to Cambridge from London. So one of them, Royston. And there is this wonderful carriage wash. So I was reading about this because I was like, what's a carriage wash? So back in the day, the carriages, the tires, the wheels were wooden with metal tires on. And in hot, dry weather, it could change the wood and it could cause the spokes to fall out. It could totally mess up the wheel if there wasn't enough water in the wood. And so they would have these carriage splashes. People would just drive their carriages into water anyway, but if you were on a road that didn't have a lot of natural water to go through, they would make these carriage washes, like a car wash that you just drive through. Um, so this is the earliest example of a modern day car wash. The Barkway site is one of 44 historic places added to the list from the east of England. Carriage splash, and here's an aerial shot of it. So you would drive in. It says during the heyday of the coaching era, Barkway was an important stopover en route from London to Cambridge, and then the north of England from there. A carriage wash had two functions: to clean the wheels and the nameplates of the coaches, and to soak the wheels to prevent the wood from shrinking from the metal rims. So water from the carriage wash came from an underground channel below the road, which consisted of a brick-lined structure with a gentle slope leading into the water. And the structure was the right depth to submerge the wheel without it flooding into the carriage or being too deep for the horses. And then it had a brick retaining wall around it. And so this Barkway one was actually used until into the 20th century, until cars came around. So that is a carriage wash that would have been used during the late Elizabethan time. Here's another article about it on the BBC. That's, I think, the same pictures that we just looked at. Like I said, dates back to 1600, was a stopover for those traveling. And then this is the official registry list, known as the Wagon Wash. Carriage wash south of the Church of St. Mary Magdalene, Church Lane, Barkway, Royston, in Hertfordshire. And so the historic interest, and it says it was a 17th century origin with sidewalls built in the 18th or 19th century. So around 1600 was what they said. And one of the earliest known examples of a carriage wash, reminder of historic importance of Barkway. It says coaches, they had to be washed periodically. The wheels regularly soaked. There were places where there was convenient shallow waters and the carriages would be washed and the wheels soaked there. And then in some locations, like we said, where there was no naturally occurring shallow water, a carriage wash was formed. And this was a drive-through. I love drive-through car washes. I think it's the most fun. I'm like a little kid. The soap suds start going around and I just like squeal. I just think it's the most fun in person. My idea of a fun date with my husband is to drive through the car wash. Anyway, I really enjoy the car wash. I think it's a good time. I always think about, like, the excitement of what if you got out and then those things were going all over you or what if you left the windows open? It's always like this thrill of, like, maybe I'll just press the thing and open the button or open the window, but then I don't, and anyway, I'm a huge fan. And so that's why I heard this on the news and I was like, "Oh my god, that's the coolest thing." So, if you are I'll stop sharing. If you are near this carriage wash, please send me a picture of it, and I need to plan a trip. My next trip to Cambridge, I'm gonna get off in Royston. If any of you are close to Royston and wanna pick me up at the train station, and then maybe have a picnic in Welwyn Garden City, I'm all about it. We could totally do that. We can make that happen. I think this community is big enough. We could just have, like, a community picnic in that little valley next to the train tracks in Welwyn Garden City. And then we'd all sit there and trains would be going past and it'd be noisy and we'd be like, "Why did we think this was a good idea?" And then we could go look at the carriage wash. And then maybe if we were driving a car, we could actually go through the car wash and it would be super meta, you guys. That would be amazing. And I'd wear my hot water bottle. What a day. Man, this is an interesting video, wasn't it? This was a weird one. But, tomorrow we'll be back to portraits and propaganda. I'll be a little more formal. A little more formal. I'll talk a little more formally, and I won't talk about hot water bottles. But I just wanted to share this news with you because I think it's cool. I think it's a super cool thing, and I can share that because it's my channel, so I can do that. All right. Hey, oh, and look at the way the light's coming in. It looks there's like a green rainbow here. Look at that. It looks like I'm in heaven or so. I mean, I kind of am because I'm doing this and you guys are fun to talk to. So thanks for letting me talk. Right. Get yourself a hot water bottle if you're cold right now. If you're in Australia and you're hot right now, then I don't have an answer. I guess you could fill it with cold water. I don't know. I haven't tried that. You could and let me know how it goes. Clearly had a lot of caffeine today. All right. Have a good one, you guys. I will be back tomorrow with a portraits and propaganda. I've got it. I'm working on a good one. So we'll do that tomorrow. All right. I will talk to you soon. Thanks for listening, watching. Can hit subscribe. I don't know if anybody's gets to subscribe from this video. Hey, there we go. All right, my friends. Talk to you later. Goodbye. Drink your water. It's important.